Hey y'all, welcome back to this week's video. Today I'll be talking about a camera that I recently purchased and one that I've been using a lot recently, and that is the Fujifilm X100VI. So I actually wasn't planning on getting this camera at all because, well, it was never in stock, so I never had the opportunity to even buy one. But walking around through the streets of Japan and through the camera stores that they have here, I magically found one and I just had to get it. I've had this camera for around 2 months or so, and thus far I've loved my time with it. Though it's definitely not the perfect camera, or at least, that perfect camera that the hype on the internet makes it seem. So yeah, in this video, I'll be talking about the positives and negatives of this camera, the Fujifilm X100VI, using my perspective and, my experiences with it, using it in these 2 months since I've owned it. So starting with the image quality. So the image quality is great. There's really nothing else in particular to say about the image quality besides the fact that, I've been happy with a lot of the pictures that I've taken with this camera thus far. You can, see the pictures that I've taken. In addition to that, the Fujifilm X100VI has a 40 megapixel sensor, which means that you get that extra flexibility that you might want or need when cropping, whether that's in post or whether that's, in real time when you're in location taking photos, which I find myself using quite a bit when I want to get more of a 50mm type look when using this camera. Even when I crop in, the final result is still a very usable image with great image quality. The second positive point that I want to get with this camera is that it's just so damn fun to use. It's light, it's small, the ergonomics make sense, the viewfinder is great to use. Everything about this camera just makes the whole photo taking experience enjoyable. It's the kind of camera that makes you want to just take it out with you when you go out. There's something about this camera that just feels right in your hands. Whenever I go for a general photo walk and I don't really have anything specific in mind to shoot, this is the camera that I take out now like 9 out of 10 times. And that's because this camera is just so much fun to use. Another plus about this camera is the battery life. So I was actually really surprised by how long this camera actually lasts when I'm out walking around taking photos. On top of that, the camera actually powers on and off pretty quickly. So I don't have to feel like I have to leave it on during the whole photo walk. I can leave this camera off, and then when I want to take a picture of something, I'll power it up, snap the photo, and then turn it back off and then continue my walk, all without missing a moment. The camera turning on quickly also helps with the battery life, as I don't have to leave it on throughout my entire photo walk, draining the battery even during stretches of the walk where I might not be taking a photo for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. Because of this camera easily lasts me an entire day of taking photos. And of course, the last positive, something that many people already know about Fujifilm, their Fujifilm film simulation recipes. So on the Fujifilm X100VI, you can save up to 7 custom recipes, and you can easily switch between them in camera when you're going on and taking photos. I just searched some recipes that I wanted via Google. The recipes that I have in my Fujifilm X100VI are the ones that I found the most versatile in most settings, including one that could be used during the day, one that could be used during the night, and of course a classic black and white recipe. So depending on my mood or the vibe or the context, the lighting, I can easily get a totally different vibe by just changing through my 7 recipes on the fly, all without needing to either edit at all or only with very minor editing in post later when I get back and load my images onto my computer. And if I don't quite like the look of a film recipe of a certain photo after I get home and upload all my images to my computer, I always have the option to just edit the raw photo straight up in Lightroom, as I always shoot in RAW plus JPEG. Alright, so now let's talk about some of the things that I don't like with the Fujifilm X100VI, starting with the processing times of some recipes. So for some reason, when I use certain film recipes and certain film simulations, after taking the initial picture, the camera always takes a while to process that photo. It's not always an issue. For example, like at a slower scene, I don't really need that quick processing time. But if I'm trying to get photos at a busy intersection, I'd have to wait 1 to 2 seconds between each photo. And that delay can be frustrating and can cause me to miss shots. I heard that the reason for this could be because of the memory card you use with your Fujifilm X100VI, but my SanDisk memory card states that it has writing speeds up to 260 megabits per second. I have no issues with my A7R5 or my Ricoh GR3 in regards to shooting speeds and whatnot, and I use the same memory cards for those cameras that I use with my Fujifilm X100VI. It's also confusing that it only happens with certain recipes. I've read online that this has happened to other people as well, so I know that it's not just my camera or like a manufacturer bug on my camera. So just be aware that if you do purchase this camera, this similar issue could happen to you as well. So now let's talk about the second negative, the weather sealing. So the weather sealing of this camera is it exists. It can be weather sealed, but unfortunately you have to buy a filter and an adapter, which does not come with the Fujifilm X100VI. You have to buy that in addition to the camera, which, it's fine, but at the price point of this camera at $1,600, I feel like it's something that they should have already included in, you know, the package. But yeah, I mean, if you want it weather sealed, you can get it weather sealed if you just buy those additional items, but I don't know, it's kind of annoying that they don't include it. So now let's get on to the third negative. So the third negative is the autofocus. So let me just be very clear. The autofocus is not bad on the Fujifilm X100VI. It's okay. And that may be a bit fair to say because I have my Sony a7R5, and you know, Sony is known for their autofocus. They're the autofocus kings for a reason. But you know, this is a review based on my experience and my perspective, and you know, the Fujifilm X100VI doesn't always deliver whenever I need it to. So you know, I just have to call it out. The autofocus could be better. You know, that's not to say that it's bad. I've been happy for the most part with the autofocus, so it's not a deal breaker, but I just have to put it there. So lastly, let's talk about the price of this camera. So it is not cheap. It is a very premium camera in my opinion. As I mentioned before, this is $1,600. $1,600 is not fucking cheap. It's a very expensive camera. And that's not even including the accessories and stuff like that. So if you include the accessories of, you know, the different lens adapters, the filters, yeah, that could actually cost you maybe up to $1,800. So, but you know, it's really worth it if you enjoy it. And I mean, for me, I enjoyed it, so I don't regret my purchase at all. As I said before, I love this camera. It's super fun to use. But you know, I will admit, this is not the most accessible camera. And you know, if you're someone looking to get into photography and you want to get a camera, and you know, you've been seeing this everywhere on the internet because of all the hype that it has, honestly, I probably wouldn't recommend this, as you can get another camera, for example, the A7 III, or another Fujifilm X-T5, X-T4, and you can get different lenses on top of that. So yeah, that's my take on the Fujifilm X100VI. It's an easy, powerful, fun little camera that makes me want to go out and take photos with it, while also maintaining the high image quality that I want in my photos. But it's nowhere near the perfect camera, or is it even a camera that you need, especially if you're a beginner looking to getting into photography. Just something to keep in mind if you're looking to pick up this camera. If you've used the X100VI, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you like it? Hate it? Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video or you found this helpful. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Later.